This chart visualizes the 2026 Fortune World's Most Admired Companies list. Looking at the top spots, the ranking is dominated by tech and retail giants, names like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Nvidia. Over the past few years, the market watched billions of dollars pour into generative AI with genuine anxiety. There was widespread fear that this was pure speculation, a bubble ready to burst. But this dual bar chart comparing early 2026 earnings paints a different picture. Microsoft reported a 60% increase in net income, while Alphabet saw its Google Cloud revenue spike by 63%. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella framed the moment plainly in their recent earnings call, stating, "We are only at the beginning phases of AI diffusion." These corporations have spent the last few years constructing an interconnected AI value chain. They have built a vertical technology stack, stretching from the physical silicon in a server rack directly into consumer living rooms. To understand how the modern global economy functions right now, you have to look at how money moves through these three specific infrastructure layers. The factory floor of this new economy is built by Nvidia, led by CEO Jensen Huang. The demand for their hardware is currently driven by agentic AI, systems designed to autonomously perform complex, multi-step tasks, rather than just answering simple prompts. Executing those workflows requires massive amounts of raw computational power. This massive hardware demand is visible in their fiscal 2026 results. Nvidia pulled in nearly $216 billion in revenue, a 65% jump from the previous year. Their GAAP gross margin sits at 71.1%, proving this layer is highly lucrative. This growth is fueled by new physical architectures like the Blackwell chip, optimized to lower the cost of processing AI inference tokens. The companies manufacturing this raw silicon serve as the primary constraint on the rest of the global economy's expansion. Moving one step up the stack, we find the primary buyers of Nvidia's chips, massive cloud providers like Alphabet, Microsoft, and Amazon. Under CEO Sundar Pichai, Alphabet uses this hardware to process more than 16 billion tokens a minute via direct API use with their Gemini models. Keeping those server racks running requires a tremendous amount of electricity. Amazon Web Services is securing entire gigawatts of power, specifically to train and run models for AI companies like Anthropic and OpenAI. This cloud layer functions as a toll road. Every future AI application, startup, or software advancement pays a fee to Amazon, Alphabet, or Microsoft to access the necessary compute power. At the top of the chain is the application layer, where abstract compute power transforms into direct consumer revenue. Walmart CEO John Furner is deploying AI tools across their retail network to drive supply chain efficiency and boost their e-commerce growth. Meanwhile, Amazon is rolling out an AI personal health assistant and expanding their Zoox robotaxi service to ferry passengers across new cities. Agentic AI now operates as an autonomous, revenue-generating workforce in the physical world. Look back at that 2026 Fortune list. It is tempting to view these top companies as fierce, cutthroat competitors fighting for the exact same market share. But this network web illustrates a deeply collaborative reality. Anthropic and OpenAI rely on AWS and Azure for infrastructure. Meta purchases millions of NVIDIA chips to train its open models. Uber partners with Amazon to run its ride-matching algorithms on Graviton processors. The barrier to entry in 2026 is now defined by the ability to secure gigawatts of power and billions in silicon. This shift from digital code to physical infrastructure creates a different competitive landscape. When a single company needs a private power grant and a multi-billion-dollar hardware fleet just to participate, the entry price for a new challenger moves out of reach for most. By controlling every layer from the power-hungry silicon to the final consumer interaction, these companies have integrated themselves into the very plumbing of global trade.